Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about more phony bank accounts being opened up for people. And this just doesn't stop. So please take a second, as usual, like the video. Please comment on the video, share the video. Don't forget to join our email list. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. But I am at the San Joaquin Marsh. And so many people have written me and said I needed to come here. And I've never been to this side of it. And this is a water filtration area that they just, that they turned into a wildlife preserve. So it's kind of cool. So let's take a look. But good old Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has a problem where they had set up bogus accounts for customers. We've heard about this. They got fined another $3.7 billion last December. Hold the phone, that's not the story. What the story is, starts with a man named Jay Patterson. Jay Patterson's just like Dan, where he's not a fan of Wells Fargo. In fact, he is an accountant in the Little Rock area, and Mr. Patterson has always been an advocate to stay away from Wells Fargo and to go to smaller local banks. Now, this guy wakes up one day and finds an account with $12 in it with his name on it at Wells Fargo, and he's like, what is this? I never opened up this account. So starts diving into it. It's his account. It's got information that leads to him. It has identifying marks with addresses and things like that that would only be something that he could be tied to him. Now, he reaches out to Wells Fargo and says, I have nothing to do with you guys. Shut this account down. They shut the account down. It only had $12 in it at the time. But one thing that's fascinating is that as I've researched this, is that Mr. Patterson reached out and found out that the account was opened and used and thousands of dollars went through the account. And he's like, how can this be? I've never banked with you guys, never given you any access, never authorized anything. And if for any of you have, if you followed my advice and you went out and set up a new bank account, you know how difficult it is. You have all the information. You've got to verify your address, social, your, income, everything. It's just not, here's my name, let's open up an account anymore. It's not like that. Now, once you establish with a bank, you can have that, but that's not how it is right now. So what they determined is something brand new, and this is called synthetic identity fraud. And what they do is they take somebody like Mr. Patterson and they go out and they set up a fake account using, his name, his social, his address, and set up the accounts. Now, what they do with this is they do illegal activity with this. They do money laundering, terrorism, awful things like that. Really nefarious things, drug dealing, things like that through these accounts. And the problem with it is that people have no idea that these accounts are even being used. And what they do is they put money in the account, electronic transfers, have the money whipped through to where people get paid and things like that with all this nefarious activity. And then they leave the account with, $12. And then if you do get a statement, you see a statement with $12 in it. And you're like, what is this? Oh, I'll call them later. And then we all get, busy and forget. So Mr. Patterson wasn't going to leave this alone. He was furious about this. Because you've gotten an account, your name, your address, driver's license number, and what a lot of these criminals are doing is they're setting up these fake accounts, and what they're doing is they'll get one bit of information from you, your name and your social, and then they'll fake everything else. They'll fake your address, they will fake your driver's license number, date of birth, everything. They'll just make it up. And the banks are not doing good checks, and they're letting these get open. Isn't that wild to think about? Now, the problem with this is you can sit there and go, Dan, it's one account. It's thousands of accounts right now. Mr. Patterson's part of a huge lawsuit against Wells Fargo because it's like, how can you allow this? How can you allow this activity? And for those of you out there, okay, I'm not a fan of certain banks. You guys, I've made that really clear. And I recently had something that was this close to getting reported to you guys. And I had money transferred as a payment from one person. and one organization to me, and they sent it over. And the bank's like, nope, no, I don't. We want to know what this is about. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, here it is. Let me verify it for you. Yeah, we'll get back to you in 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days. I want you to get back to me in 7 to 10 minutes. How about that? Okay? Because here's what I do for a living. Okay? And, whoa, sir, calm down. Calm down. We're just trying to verify things. Well, verify it right now. Here's the business. Here's the websites. Here's everything that's all set up. Okay, well, sir, this takes time to do this. We can't do it. Now, I was scrutinized. Now, this ended well, okay, Friday. And, you know, it's funny. Family members, my accountant, my lawyer, all these people are like, oh, are you going to pounce on these guys? You're going to do it? You're going to do it? Yeah. But you know what? It just ended. Poof, like nothing. Here you go. Thank you for identifying what we asked for. No, it's nonsense, okay? It's absolute nonsense. So, Mr. Patterson is one of thousands of people that have had these accounts set up. You have to be leery of this. Have you been the victim of identity theft in any way, shape, or form? Anything weird, you have to look at. Now, my late girlfriend, okay, passes away, and we start to get different accounts and different information sent. And I'm like, no. What's this, guys? Never had an account here, because I have them all, okay? So you have to go out and reach out. If there's any statement, if there's any charges, if there's any bills, anything goes against the dead woman, I'm going to sue you guys, because I can do that as the executor of the estate. And things get fixed real quick. Anyways, have a good lawyer. You know, one thing that's crazy is you start to hear all this stuff about these different banks doing these things, but synthetic identity fraud, where they just use just a small enough portion to get your information. And that's a problem, guys, right now. So when we hear about these, you know, identity theft problems that we've talked about in the past, and how you need to, you know, have the VPN and all that stuff, you have to look at this, because they're trying to get anything that they can from you. And I've seen it with my late girlfriend's parents that both passed away. We saw bills and we're like, what is this? Who are these people? You know, and I'm sure some of them hope that certain people just pay things, but you don't want anything like that ever set up. You don't want to see it. You don't want your name on it. And what Mr. Patterson was talking about was, I've never had a relationship ever with this bank, ever. In fact, I'm, you know, Dan, and I don't like him. So he's got a huge lawsuit with them. But the problem with this is, look at your mail. You know, everybody sits there and tells me I'm nuts that I get paper statements. I was in a bank last week, and the bank manager, I need to talk to you. Come here. No. You're the one advocating for paper statements. Like, oh, here we go. I'm going to kill trees and all this stuff. This is the smartest thing that you can do. And don't give my name out. But I am all for paper statements, because people just don't realize. People will read the paper statements over the emails. Now, there's people out there that are very responsible and that will open things and go through their bills. Most people are not. Most people are not. So, you know, share your thoughts on that stuff, guys. I think it's wild, but we finally are starting to see where thieves are getting more brazen than ever. Thieves are starting to get creative and using just enough to get things stolen. And again, look at what bank accounts that are set up. There is a site that will allow you to look up what bank accounts you have. It's a consumer site, and it's below, and I included that. And this is where Mr. Patterson, he's suing them too, because he's saying, wait a second, I didn't authorize you guys to use this information and to let me, you know, spread my different bank accounts. Because what they do is they go through and they show you everywhere you have a bank account at. And this guy found out different places he had bank accounts he didn't know that he had. So he's like, wait a second, how can you guys have this information and not verify it? So good argument in one sense, but you know, you're supposed to be a consumer advocacy site. And again, the name is below. It's got a long name. It's consumer advocacy for checking or something like that, or banking. But the link is below. But it's fascinating because wouldn't you want to know what accounts are open out there? Which leads to another thing. When was the last time you guys did a data search to see if you had any lost income or if you had any bank accounts that were closed or anything like that? You can go to unclaimed.org, unclaimed.org, and you can search within your state. All 50 states have this. And you can search and you can determine if you have anything of assets that the state controller is holding. Now, I did a video on this 2 years ago. It was fantastic. I applied, contacted the state of California. 2 weeks later, 2.5, I got my checks in the mail from the state of California. It was absolutely amazing. So I've turned so many people onto this, but there's a ton of services out there that you can go and you can pay for. I don't recommend it. Go to unclaimed.org and fill the information out and do it for free, okay? Don't pay anybody. Don't pay anybody for anything. Same thing with any grant. Same thing with anything like that that you're trying to get. Don't pay for it. Do everything you can not to pay for it, okay? But look to see if you have any fake accounts set up right there. Check your credit report too. That's the other thing, is that people don't go through and check the credit reports on a regular basis. They sit there and, you know, just don't want to pay attention to it. My credit's not good, Dan. Why would I want to look at this? You have to look at stuff like this. So let me know what you think about this. Have you ever found anything like this? Have you ever had money put in your account that wasn't supposed to be there? 30 years ago? Nah, maybe it wasn't that. It's about 30 years ago. Woke up one day to $23,000 in an account. And I was like, wow, it's not mine. So I didn't call them. There was no online program then. I drove over there. Oh, wow, that's a mistake. Thank you for pointing that out to us. We'll get that handled right away. Okay. So 4 days later, they took the money out. Now, so many people have taken that money, written themselves checks. There's a ton of stories on stuff like that too. But it's not your money, okay? But isn't it wild that these people, they put money in, do illegal things, and then send it around? So share your thoughts on this stuff. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, the Fed has raised interest rates to their highest level in 22 years. What are they going to do next? Who knows, and who cares? One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to back my IRA and 401k with physical metals, and you should do the same. Call Patriot Gold today, 888-330-1431, before it's too late. Call them today and get a free investor guide. Find out how you can get an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. They are #1 rated for over 7 years from Consumer Affairs. Their customer service is absolutely amazing, and you need to get the experts at Patriot Gold on your side. Call them today. Look at what big banks are saying. Look at what billionaires are doing. Look at what central banks are doing. They are getting themselves into gold right now, and you should too. Call them today. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. 888-330-1431, and find out if an IRA or 401k is best for you. Get the good people on Patriot Gold on your side today. Call them before it's too late. I am always so appreciative of all the stories that you guys send me. And Michael sent me a story that I thought was great, the truck tire index. And this is true. And as I was driving here, I'm like, look at that car. That car's got tires are bald. And what he noticed was, in down economies, what you see with big four-wheel drive trucks is that these guys put off getting new tires. They drive these things in the road, places they're not supposed to. The tires get, get worn down to where they're bald, and they should have been replaced a long time ago. We see that. Also, one thing that I like to look at is really high-end cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, really expensive Bentleys, things like that, and see the guy pumping his own gas and seeing if the tags are current. Because so many times these guys let the tags expire. So Great, just a great story. And Michael, I appreciate that one. The next one is Joseph. Joseph always sends me great stuff, but Joseph brought up a couple stories. First one was with insurance. You know, California is going through this, you know, renaissance of not having insurance written. And he brought up, you know, Harvey Rosenfield that has the, it's our ombudsman. You know, he runs one of these groups that fights for our rights and our financial rights. And I always think this guy's on the losing side of his group. But he's talking about how it is ridiculous for State Farm and Allstate to talk about, you know, climate change when it comes to writing insurance in California. It's too dangerous with the climate to write insurance. And I wouldn't have believed it unless I read it. I'm like, that's what you guys are saying? You guys are saying that? Okay. It's a beautiful day out. Okay. Oh, it's not a good day for insurance, Dan. It's dangerous. Okay. How about this? Mr. Rosenfield brought up a bunch of great points that the insurance companies make, are you ready? 4 times the amount on a policy that other insurance carriers do in other states. So California is a very profitable state. So is states like Florida, where you have hurricanes, because they charge people more for that. But we're just not going to write these policies. If we just don't write the policies, there's nothing they can do about it. So kind of fascinating, you know, when you think about that. And Joseph also brought up the other great story, which was about the bank closures. And he just said, you know, let me just look at New York State as a whole. Then let's just start there. Well, right now, there's been hundreds of banks closed in 2023. And this is a poor man's option, is what these stories say. And there's a great story below talking about how these bank closures and branch closures are happening at a record pace. How is that? Now, right now, as we sit here, before they close anything else, there are 24 more banks in New York State scheduled to close right now. Bank branches, that is, bank branches, okay? What you're going to have is a banking desert, and they talked about this, where people are not going to have access to regular banks, you know, ATMs, communication. You know, these cashless banks don't do good for old people. It's like, I was in a bank, in a Chase bank, last week. A woman walked in, she goes, how much, you know, I need about $300. I need a cash check. Oh, go to the ATM. I don't use the ATM. Oh, I'll show you how to do it. No, I don't want to use the ATM. I want to get it out. I want to write a check. I want to get it out of my account. Oh man, you're gonna have to wait in line. Well, yeah, okay, I want to talk to her. I want to talk to, you know, Debbie up front. Okay. And again, they don't want that. But this old woman doesn't want to deal with the scary ATM. And you can sit there and say it's ridiculous, but that's that. You know, it's just not fair. Now, Jay sent me a story. It wasn't scathing. It was just like, hey, man. And hey, man, you keep talking about how bad the watch industry is. It's difficult. He found a story talking about how the watch industry is doing gangbusters. And they have an entirely new sector of customers with all these young kids that are buying. I'm walking on the marsh right here. Isn't that kind of cool? Got the office buildings in the background, and you got the marsh over here. But all these kids, he says, listen, I don't know who's telling you Rolex is doing bad, but Rolex is doing great right now. And we're seeing younger kids and younger millennials go out and buy Rolex watches. I'm not seeing that. You know, I've talked to Rolex dealers. They can't get inventory. They just talk about how difficult it is. But no one's ever said business is booming. No one's ever said that. The other thing is that you're starting to see deals on these watches. You're going to deny that? Deny it all you want. But Jay sends over a story, and read the story below because it completely contradicts everything I've shared with you guys in the past. And again, everything that I share with you guys is all from news stories, or, you know, somebody like, you know, Jay or Michael or Joseph that send me things in the mail. That's, you know, that's where everything comes from, guys. It's all fact-based, not fantasy-based. But we're being told that the real estate market is still doing good, and that you know, now's never been a better time to get into property. Man, oh man, do you really, who believes that right now? Does anybody believe that? Do you guys really believe that this is good right now? I think, and I'm going to do this again, I'm going to do another video on what's going on sale, because You know, Economic Ninja just bought a car literally 25% lower than wholesale, okay? Now, he's a grinder. He's great at what he does. But that is the shape of things to come. Patience, looking at it. Yeah, did he have to go, you know, a few 100 miles away from his house? Absolutely. Wasn't close by at all. And I know where he got it. He told me. But, you know, that's how you have to do it right now. And these deals are out there. You don't think people are hurting right now? You don't think there's people that want to unload their Rolex watches right now? Man, oh man, get ready. Get ready. So, but Jay, I appreciate the story. Read it because it completely contradicts that there is any type of shortage when it comes to watches. Oh, and by the way, Jay is the CEO of Rolex America. No, I'm kidding. He's not. He's not at all. Okay. Michael brought up a great story, and that was the Phillips curve. And what it states is that when unemployment goes up, inflation falls. The only problem with it is that he wants to see people reference supply and how food prices are shooting up right now. And guys, I'm one of the people that believe all these numbers are fake. I don't believe that our unemployment is as low as it is. I included what the Phillips curve is for you guys. It's a great point, but everything is out of whack. Look at the inverted yield curve with a 2-year bond and 10 years of treasury notes. It's ridiculous right now. Everything is not realistic, okay? Great article out of the New York Post talking about Shark Tank deals and how it goes down. Now, I have met a tremendous amount of people that have pitched on Shark Tank before, and a lot of business advisors, a lot of people that help people get money. These people have gone and they've been involved with these people. And I know people that have had very successful products on Shark Tank too. But a tremendous amount of deals fall apart after the meetings, after the TV show. And the best thing that people can do if they're going to be on Shark Tank is they go out and they have their website set up, make sure that they're ready for an influx of orders. And that's been the #1 thing. But read this article because a ton of these things go down. And I mean, do you know that when Shark Tank originated, that ABC wanted 5% of every company at one point? And that people, the sharks, lost their minds with that one. But, you know, you were going to give up 5% for getting on the show. That's insane. So things change, but a lot of these deals fall apart. Now, real estate. Mortgage rates right now, if you have good credit and you're ideal, as I make this video, okay? 7.19%. It is very high, but you have to be ideal to get that. Now, I found a great article below that you have to look at talking about all these different people that have different stakes in it. Morningstar, National Association Realtor, Realtor.com, all these different people talking about where they think interest rates are going to go in the coming months. Okay? This place is kind of cool because they have security that walks around, drives around. You can see guys with badges. It's kind of nice. Anyways, so here's the thing. Where are interest rates going to be in 2024? End of 2024, where are interest rates going to be? Now, this is fascinating because at first I was like, oh God, I'll just share the article and I won't read it. But as I read it, I'm like, wait, this is kind of a bold statement. All these people are within range. So every single one of these people now, National Board of Realtors had the highest, 6.24%. Okay, kind of high, but the lowest was 5.9%. So I want you to get yourself ready. If you have interest rates and loans at 5.9%, what does the real estate market look like? Seriously, what does it look like when you have the average house payment that has gone up $2,000 a month? What do you look at in this area? Okay, nationally, $1,300 more. What's the world look like with a 5.9% interest rate? Yeah, it's cheaper than it is right now, but has it crashed? Is it good? Are there more foreclosures out there? What's it like now? Best thing about a new week starting is my buddies in foreclosures call me. Hey, guess what I got? I got 19 more files, you know, and they all let me know how busy it's going to be. So where is this going to go? Make the predictions. Tell me what you think interest rates are going to be at the end of 2024, because I think that we are in for something wild right now. I really, really do. So they've got these marshes here, the ducks hanging out. It's kind of nice. There were fish jumping in there earlier. But share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. What do you think? Do you think this is going to go through the roof? Do you think it's going to stay high? You know, let me know. Let me know what you think. End of 2024, where are interest rates going to be at? The foreclosure market is getting heated right now. We have put together an amazing course, the Economic Ninja and I. We brought in a 40-year veteran to the foreclosure industry who not only does the postings, but does the actual sales and actually has his hand on the pulse of the foreclosure market. Take a look at Real Estate Foreclosure Pro or use the link below and register for it today. I'm going to end this video with these last couple stories. And I love this one out of Yahoo Finance, where it's Americans can't get a break on fuel prices, food prices, and mortgages. Here's every way that we're getting screwed. That's the title of the article, okay? So instead of boring you with that and going through it, you guys get up every day and walk outside and you know how we're getting hosed and taken advantage of, okay? Final thing is there has been a rash of what they call flash robberies, flash mob robberies here in Southern California. The latest one was yesterday at the Topanga Valley Mall, okay? Beautiful mall. Nordstrom's, 30 people went in there and stole $100,000 worth of merchandise in minutes. In minutes. This made national news, okay? And these guys just ransacked it. They're all masked up and just ripped, you know, expensive bags, clothes, jackets, and just ran out the store and just completely disrupted the entire store. Absolute mess. You know, Nordstrom says, hey, listen, we're back open for business, not to worry. Did you guys prosecute these people? Did you arrest anybody? No. That's a story for another day. So, again, this should be added to the other story of how we're being taken advantage of, because this is too much, guys, right now. They're going to do this with the wrong person in the store. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the story is going to turn out much differently when the wrong person is there. Okay? I'm just telling you guys that, and I'm going to say I told you so. Okay? Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join the email list. Take a look at our sponsor. And onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Please like, subscribe, and share this video today.